Good morning. This is a quick video for social studies teachers on how to turn in assignments using Classroom for your social studies topics. And then Lisa Zerbel will be taking them out of the Classroom folders and posting them in a Scottsdale Google site for you to retrieve from each other to use in your classroom. So for this repository to work correctly, we had to enlist you as students in her courses through Classroom. That way you can submit items to the repository, and then nobody will be accidentally deleting anybody else's items. The folder will be controlled by Lisa, and the items will go back out onto a website when they're ready and gathered into units of study. So I'm going to presume that you are familiar with Google Apps. This is our third year having it in Scottsdale schools, and you would have gone to classroom.google.com to get this far, and you would have had to use your credential, which should be your first initial and your last name. Then the ending is at susdgapps.org. That is how you would log in. You can use the same password you use for everything else, unless you chose a specialty password last year before April and it was not yet reset to match single sign-on. If you need to reset your password, employees have to be on campus to do so, and you would go to pwreset.susd.org. If you need help with that, just call the help desk. They'll walk you through it real quickly. So once you're in Classroom, you're going to click the plus symbol and you're going to join a class. Class codes were sent out and assigned by Lisa. If you're not sure which class code you need, but you do know the class you're supposed to join, I have the list of codes as well, and I can help you with that. But you'll have to ask Lisa which one you were asked to contribute to. You would enter the code right here and click join. I'm going to hit cancel because I've joined all of them. And I'm going to enter this one, American Arizona History. I'm listed as a student on this one just for the purposes of making this video. And so it'll look the same view that you have. When I click on it, it takes me in here, and it has a list of topics. So for each topic that Lisa has made an assignment folder for, you're going to see the title, and then at the end, the word assessment, or you'll see explore, explain, or engage. So pay attention what kind of resource you are submitting and pick the proper version of the assignment. If you have items for each of those three things because you're doing a whole unit, then that's fine. You would end up using all three of these links to submit your items based on what part of the process you're using. So here it is. As a student, I go over here and I click open on the assignment. It takes me here, and I have a cover sheet to fill out. When I click on this, for you, you are going to be listed as a view only, and it will say this is a read only copy. I'm a co-editor right now on making this cover sheet with Lisa, so I don't see the view only warning, but you will. You will see a warning here that tells you this is a view only file. So the first thing you do is hit File, Make a Copy. And I will call it and then I should put whatever it was I was turning in. Passage, blah, 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 assessment. Okay. Now, because you aren't an owner of that cover sheet, it may very well insert the entire name of the assignment as soon as you do File, Make a Copy, and you just have to double check that it's correct. All right, then I would click OK. It's going to make a copy of this cover sheet for me to now edit. Now I'm the owner of this document. I can edit it. I will mark what it is. This was an assessment. So I would go over here and mark assessment. And I would say the course number. I don't remember the course numbers off the top of my head, but I do know I was on American Arizona History for this little example. All right, and then you would begin filling in the titles of your resources. So is this PowerPoint or is this an assessment? Tell us what this is right here. Would be where you list that. Then you would put in your strand concept and PO number. If you have multiple, you've got many lines here to fill in. And then instructions for the teachers to use this resource. So anything that you would have told me verbally or given me some kind of paper, if I was a substitute teacher, what would I need to understand to do this lesson? That's where you want to type. And it will keep expanding. You can have as much room as you need to put instructions here. If you have a second resource, keep adding it here as long as it also falls under the assessment category. You're only turning in an assessment item on this particular assignment. So if you realize, yeah, I have more things, but they are for engage or explain, you would do that on a different link so that it would go in the proper folder. So fill out as many of these areas that you need to for anything that you are going to submit into this folder. When I'm finished, I would close this here. I'm going to close also the original. And it would take me back to Classroom. Now I need to turn in the file. So I will go to Add Files. And that was created by Google, so it put it back in Google. I will go over to my Google Drive. And I'm going to look for an item to turn in. So the first item I need to look for would be that cover sheet, which I started with my name. Right here, Amy Downs cover sheet, passage, blah, 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 assessment. There's one file. I also am going to add the resource that I described on that cover sheet. So add. Now, if I actually add the file here as a Word document or anything that's not already in my Google Drive, it's just like an email. You click on the paperclip, you can browse your computer to find it. If you realize, oh, wait, no, it is in my drive, well, then just click over here and go to My Drive. Regardless of how you get to the item, you're going to need to attach it here. One word of caution, if you are attaching something from your Google Drive, then you want to be careful that you've already made a copy of it. You want to turn in a copy. Let's say, for instance, I'm going to turn in this copy of Getting Started with Google. If I turn in my original, think of it like you are really turning in your original piece of paper to Lisa. Then you wouldn't have it to use next week in your real lesson plan. It would be in an inbox waiting to be graded. Classroom's the same way. So you want to first make a copy of items that you are going to submit because you don't know how long it might take her to go through that folder, retrieve it, make her own copy for the repository, and give it back to you. So to be on the safe side, make a copy of anything that you're going to turn in as a classroom lesson during this process. So I will attach my copy of Getting Started. Now I'm ready. I've got my cover sheet that I made, and I've got a copy of the item I wish to submit as a resource, and then I would click Turn In. It double checks. Are you sure that you want to submit Passage to New Century assessment? Click Turn In again. Now it says it's been turned in and it's marked done. If I realize I want to add more to that assignment for assessment, I can unsubmit it right there and add more files, or delete and change files. Whatever I need to do, I can unsubmit it. All right, then Lisa will no longer see it until you resubmit it. It's a back and forth, just like a piece of paper would be in an in bin. So that is how you turn in an assignment through Classroom. If you're not sure how to make a copy of your own files, it would be the same way as we made a copy of that cover sheet. I'll show you real quickly. I'll jump over here and I will type drive.google.com. And let's say I know I'm going to be turning in a particular item, so I need to copy it before I use the turn in feature. And if I've decided, okay, I'm going to copy this, let's just say this one. Our agenda for early release at Arcadia. All right, if I want to make a copy of that, I click on it, it highlights the item, then I right click on it, and I do make a copy. When it makes the copy, you'll see it's in progress. There it is right away. Shows me it. Copy of basic agenda. And click on it. It's selected. Now I can right click on it if I wish to rename it. Sometimes it's easier to just leave it exactly as it is with the word copy, because then you know it's not your original. So you can see I have a lot of things that say copy of, copy of. That's for me to keep straight which one is my giveaway that I'm giving to somebody else as a copy versus an original that I need to keep somewhere else for use rather than having it sit in a classroom folder. So if you have any confusion about any part of this, please contact me. I would love to help you. My name's Amy Downs, and I can be reached at adowns.susd.org or at adowns@susdgapps.org. Either address. You can also call me. I have a cell phone that I carry around with me everywhere for the job. You can text it. You can know that I'll read emails on there. So if you need to call me or text me, use that phone number and I will walk you through it. If I don't answer and you're in great need to get that password changed, then please call 484-HELP and they'll walk you through the steps for password reset. Enjoy!